Okay, this is Malcolm Rose. This is my first YouTube video, and it's also the first time I'll be playing Dungeon Crawl on video. So what we're going to do here today is we're going to play Octopode, which is not an easy race to play. In fact, if you look, they recently reorganized it into simple, intermediate, and advanced, and of course Octopode is under advanced because you can't wear any armor at all. Just rings, 8 of them. And we're going to be an air elementalist. We're going to focus on survival here and win rate. So what we'll do is just take our auto explore button here and sort of turn it off. Turn it into resting, I guess. Because auto exploring is bad and will get you killed. It's okay if you have a hit point buffer, maybe like 100, but it is very easy to die automatically from auto exploring. So we've got a bat. Bats are easy to kill, but we're an octopode, and we are a book start. We are an air elementalist. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to set our training to manual for skills. Turn on spell casting, so we get some more magic points here. And conjuration and air magic, and we'll just kind of zap our way to victory here. Because he's sleeping, you know, he will automatically get hit, which is a plus, especially for, you know, shock, lightning bolt, any kind of air spell really, other than air strike, because they miss a lot, but not when something's sleeping. Got a spear on the ground here, we'll wear that. It's cursed, but we don't really care. And we're pretty much going to go like this. Shock really doesn't make much noise, so we don't need to worry too much about pulling stuff on the first floor. Unless that happens, he is shouting, and so he might have a couple friends behind him, so we're gonna pull him back a little bit, and we're gonna try to get him with some double zaps. That's the cool thing about air spells, is some of them, like shock and lightning bolt, as you can see, we've got the yellow highlight here, but it gets lighter, you know, it's doubled up, which means we have a double zap possible because it bounces off the stone walls. So if you look at the log, you see he got zapped twice every time. Well, one missed, but, you know, a chance to zap twice every time. And you really want to abuse those if you start as an air elementalist, especially. So we leveled up, which is a plus. And since we leveled up, we can go ahead and memorize swiftness. I like to put my spells on capital letters, which you can use. You can change, you know, you can hit equals here and change the letter of your spell to whatever you want. I put it on capitals because it's easier, or rather it's harder to accidentally trigger it, since spells like swiftness don't have a target, so as soon as you cast them, they just cast. Can't really get a double zap here, so we're just going to kind of walk backwards and wait a little bit. Let's double zap. We'll walk backwards. Now he can do quite a lot of damage to us. I misplayed a little bit there. I moved further than I intended to. We have basically no armor class here. We have 1. So he could... let's see, he does 5 damage plus the club. And a club. Base damage is 5. So he can do 10 damage to us. That is a lot. So we're going to try to kill him with a double zap. And another double zap, and he goes down. But that could have been bad for us. You really have to play very, very careful on something like an Octopode when you start out. Octopodes, Felids, Tengu, anything with like low hit points or low armor class, or I mean everything is fragile at level 1, except for a Minotaur Berserker or something like that. But in particular, these super fragile races, you just have to be crazy careful, because the game can and will kill you super quickly. We're going to pick up stones. Stones are nice because they are in abundance. You find a ton of them. And while you're not really going to do much damage with them without any throwing training, you can lure things and not make a lot of noise. Unless they shout, but, nothing you can really do about that. We're just going to wait for this guy, 1 turn at a time. That's a miscast, that's not great, but the double zap gets him. Really like zapping things that are sleeping. The guaranteed hit is a big plus. Especially, like I was saying, these thunder spells, or air spells, where they do extra damage, or do a good amount of damage, but just miss a lot. Running into a sleeping opponent is just a big bonus. It's kind of like, I wouldn't say it's as good as stabbing, but it is nice. We've got a buckler here. We're going to pick it up, but we're not going to use it yet. No real reason not to use a buckler, especially this early in the game. Especially on a caster, once you have the, 4? Yeah, skill points in shield. Once you have 4 of them, it doesn't interfere with spell casting or attacking or anything. And if we're lucky, that will turn out to be protection, because we are going to be starving for armor class basically this entire game. Chances are good we will not be using anything like, statue form to increase our armor class. So we're going to have to rely on rings. We got a throwing net here, that's really good. With my throwing nets, I like to inscribe them with !F or bang F. That way, if I try to throw them and I don't intend to, the game warns me, because throwing nets are really useful and we do not want to waste them. In fact, one could say that throwing nets are broken. Got some more stones here. Okay, we've pretty much explored this floor, and we are... Oh, he has a dagger of venom, so he could be very bad for us. We're going to move backwards. Unfortunately, he saw us. We're going to try to kill him, and we got him. That's good. We're going to pick up that dagger, and we're going to just go ahead and go down, because we've been on this floor for over 1,000 turns, so we could potentially get screwed by the RNG pretty easily by out of depth. I think out of depth can show up on turn 800 or something like that. So then you're dealing with like a D1 centaur, and it's not pleasant, especially as an Octopode. So hopefully we find some more scrolls soon, because once we have Remove Curse, we can wear that dagger, and that'll be nice. Let's try this. We have 2 of J here, and it was Remove Curse, so we're going to wear the Dagger of Venom, drop the spear, and now we have an ego weapon. Not that we'll be using it if we can help it. We really don't want to do this. This guy's very slow, so I will actually melee him. He cannot, as far as I know, he cannot kill us. He can do 12 damage, no more. And he dies. And we're almost to level 3. Which is nice. Sleeping double zap, he does not die. A little bit of a surprise. We're always going to put our points into intelligence. This is our level 3 stat increase that we get to pick. 3, 6, 9, 12. Any multiple of 3, you get one of these on any race, as far as I know. So I think Demigod, you get 2 in the place of 1. So we're going to go intelligence. Strength doesn't really matter for us because we're not meleeing and we're not wearing armor. Dexterity doesn't matter as much as intelligence. We like to dodge, but really we'd rather just kill things quickly. We're level 3 now, so we're going to memorize static discharge. I'll put this on G. Static discharge is great, but unfortunately seems to work better if you're in melee. So we won't be using it much unless we have an emergency. Instead, we're going to stick to shock. Now, we did find a Zom-Alter earlier, but, you know, we're not trying to play a Zom game right now, so we're not picking him. I'll probably go with Sif Muna as sort of a showcase of how good an Octopode can be if you play it as a pure caster, and are very careful. Because I do not think Octopode is a bad race. It's just a little harder to play than most. I shouted there. I probably shouldn't have done that, but just kind of taking out some popcorn here. Easy monsters, nothing too tough so far. But then again, things can go south very quickly in this game. It just takes a little bit of recklessness. And yeah, now this adder, we don't want to fight adders. I mean, we could probably kill him. We could probably just zap him, and maybe he wouldn't die the first time. But we'd probably walk backwards, get some double zaps, whatever, but we don't want to fight him. Adders are extremely evasive, and if he gets next to us, if he hits us one time, we have like 21 hit points, and we're just not going to have a good time with that. So instead, we're just not going to fight him. Not if we can avoid it, for now. Yeah, we've got static discharge, which would probably kill him, but then we've got 17% fail rate on it. So it's just not a game you want to play. This game is all about, you know, minimizing your risk. We have removed curse scrolls, so I'm gonna go ahead and check on this buckler and see if it's any good. Positive energy. That's not terrible, but I don't want to wear it. Yeah, that takes down my spell success percentage significantly, so we won't wear it for now, but we will wear it later. Let's go ahead and go up a floor and test one of these scrolls. Now, the reason we want to go up to a different floor, one that's either mostly or completely explored, when we do this, is because it might be teleportation, and we really don't want to get teleported into, you know, some kind of sleeping monster like an adder that we can't handle. Identify. Let's identify some of our potions first. Mutation, flight is kind of useless, and might. Those are okay. We're not going to play mutation roulette though. We will go ahead and go to dungeon floor 3. Kill these guys. Could have gone better. Let's melee this guy. Let's try static discharge. No, we can't do that. We don't have enough mana. This could be bad. Yeah, you think it's like, oh, it's a gecko, it can't really do much, but they hit for 5 damage. That is significant early in the game on an Octopode. I mean, see, he did 1 damage there. Let's see. Discharge. And he dies, but I get zapped too, so... See, that was a misplay. He should never have gotten next to me. And that's just how careful you have to play on one of these not so great in the early game races. I mean, you could say that what I've done so far is like highly reckless play just by letting anything get next to me. Here is our friend, another adder. We're gonna exclude him again so we don't walk into anywhere that he can see. Get a zap here, take these guys down. Again, once we have 100 hit points, we will start doing things like auto-exploring that will make this a little faster, but it just doesn't make sense if you're trying to maximize win rate. If you don't care about dying and you want to have a less tedious game, then definitely use auto-explore. But it's rarely going to kill you outright, but it will put you in situations that are either very hard to explore, or rather hard to escape, or impossible to escape without using resources. And maybe you don't have a blink scroll available, or maybe you don't have a teleport scroll. Maybe you're just out of luck. Kill our first orc. He had a friend. He has a couple friends. Try to pull them one by one. And they die pretty easy. I'm gonna go up here. Really shouldn't be exploring into the darkness here, but... Okay. See, if I was any other character that wasn't a caster at least, I'd see this chainmail, I'd be pretty happy about it, but we're an octopus, we can't wear that. Take this guy down, some double zaps. Remember, the RNG can always just choose to make you miss and make your opponent hit you in ways that you wouldn't expect would be likely, but it will happen. So you should always be prepared with a way to get away. For me, right now, I would probably cast Swiftness if I really need to escape. You either take the downstairs or try to make it to an upstairs. We messed up here. Yeah, there we go. That's what I wanted to do. Get the double zaps. And we're at level 4, and we have some tomahawks, which are pretty decent. I don't foresee us using those too much. We have a goodly amount of mana. There's really no need. What we would really like to get right now is Airstrike. It's just a really nice spell. It always hits, which is just a big plus. I think it's possible for it to do 0 damage, but in practice it usually doesn't. It does extra damage to flying things, so if you're running into a Sky Beast, we can use it for that. And the biggest thing for us in the immediate time is that these adders will always get hit, which is just great. So we're going to turn on spellcasting by itself for training. Let's, God, I really don't want to fight these adders yet still. Let's just go down. Okay, we got gnolls, and they do a lot of damage. Yeah, they do a lot of damage. He's not going to move closer to us. He can do 9 damage plus the halberd. Whoops. Halberd. Yeah. 9 damage plus the halberd, and the halberd does 13. So that's, I believe the maximum he can do is actually... that's a lot. That is 22 damage, which is how much hit points we actually have. So let's just Let's just get out of here. Yeah, we don't want to fight him. It's very easy to die to a halberd knoll. Obnoxiously easy, actually, and they can show up as early as dungeon floor 2, I think. So at this point, we don't really have another way down except for this hatch over here. That's crap. So we're gonna take this other staircase down to D3. And get a little more experience this way. We have these might potions. I mean, if we really need to do melee, oh boy. Oh boy. Here's the guy. People are really scared of Sigmund, but he's really just sort of a... I mean, he's no more dangerous than an orc wizard, in my opinion. Of course, an orc wizard is dangerous in and of himself at this point. He has no ego on his scythe, which is nice, but we don't want to fight him. He goes invisible, he can confuse us. Confuse is really the killer here. We don't have cure, or at least we don't have it identified, so we're not, this is, yeah, dungeon floor 3 is something we're just not going to play with right now. We're going to go straight down. These stones, oh, a book. The Hexer book. Yeah, this is the default book that the, what is it, the Enchanter? Let's see what Beam has to say. Yeah, backgrounds. Yeah, Enchanter, Ian. Yeah, they start with the Book of Maledictions. I don't think we're going to train this right just yet. Experience is kind of at a premium right now. But it would be kind of nice to get Confuse or maybe Tuck Dance. Not just yet, though. We're really trying to focus on this air magic. Well, we're trying to focus on spellcasting right now because we want to be able to memorize airstrike, and spellcasting gives us levels. We're getting kind of deep to not have airstrike available. It's possible that memorizing swiftness was a mistake, but it gives us a little more versatility in getting away from nasty things. Like this guy. This guy we can try to kill now. Just gotta get the right setup. There we go. 19. We're gonna take the risk. Yeah, the double zap. More reliable than you would think. But that, we could have died there. I mean, that's the way the cookie crumbles with this game. You gotta accept that there's certain things you just cannot control. And if we wanted to play 100% perfectly, we would have been a little more careful there. He wouldn't have been within striking range of us. We would have reset the fight as many times as it takes. And we would have done that, you know, by stair dancing up and down different staircases. Which is tedious, but that is the game. That is the game if you're trying to maximize win rate. You just have to play in a very, very tedious way. We got Makleb here. Not a very good choice for a caster, in my opinion. I mean, he's a great god, don't get me wrong. You get a ton of benefits from worshipping him, but it's a lot better if you're hybrid or if you're melee. Hey, a book. A better book for us. This book is actually quite nice for us. Yeah, hello. We got Meph Cloud. Yeah, this is actually one of my favorite books to find early. I mean, you can start with it if you're, what is it, a wizard? But it's nice to find it on something else. We're going to get Meph Cloud real fast. That's going to be good for us. But Blink, Call Imp. Call Imp may have been the better thing to memorize there, probably. But tend to avoid summons, even though they're really good, if I have other options available to me, because I don't like losing the experience. But in reality, it's Call Amp will save you more than Swiftness will. If I had Amnesia right now, or if I knew I had Amnesia, and one of these unidentified scrolls was Amnesia, I would use it. I would actually Amnesia the Swiftness off, and I would memorize Call Amp, because putting stuff in between you and the guys you're fighting is generally more reliable if you want to get away from something. This guy doesn't want to die. We could meth him, but I think we can, yeah, we got him. So now that we do have meth, we are going to go up and we're going to take down all these floors where we had adders, because meth will take care of that for us pretty much immediately. Yeah, we'll go ahead and get like a little bit of poison. We have +2 apt, so getting a point or two is not a big deal. It's almost no experience, and we'll very quickly get very quickly. Yeah, see, look at that. He gets confused pretty quickly from this. I'd like to start auto-exploring, but I'm not going to. Okay, we'll go down. Whoa, hey, wow, we should have taken a known staircase, and this is the reason why. Not so good. Let's actually use static discharge, I think, is the answer here. Yeah. And then we'll meth cloud. Well, hello, that's Grinder. He's nasty. He is not just resistant to poison, making meth a bad option against him. He can paralyze us with over 50% chance. Screw that. We're going up. We are going to take this exclusion off, just because those guys are awake now. But Dungeon Floor 3 with Grinder and Sigmund, and at least one more adder still, really makes me want to not go back there, ever. Well, not ever, but not until I gain several more levels. What I really need here is the ability to kill him quickly, and I just don't have that. We're gonna move Mephitic Cloud to C here, just a little easier. Let's throw some tomahawks. Here we go. I opted to melee him because he was confused. Not a big risk. Let's see, we've only cut a couple things, but Meth Cloud is already down to 14% fail rate, which is nice. I'm gonna keep training poison just for a little while, maybe to 3 or 4. Let's go ahead and let's stab this Quokka. He's not hostile, but he's worth experience. And he did not get hit. That's unfortunate. Wow, he is just avoiding the cloud. We'll just melee him to death. Yeah, oddly enough, he is worth experience. So this guy. Scorpions are normal speed, but they are just as dangerous as adders if they're next to you. Actually more dangerous, because they can do 10 damage and they're poisonous. So we're going to try to cloud him, and we succeed. But he really doesn't want to die. Our tricks are not taking him down. Tomahawks didn't do it. We're just going to kind of walk away here and rest up. We'll get him again if we find him. It's all about resetting these fights. What am I doing down here? He was probably the same guy that was over here, so we'll take away that exclusion, and we'll try to cloud him again. I want to say that because he's susceptible to poison, or vulnerable to poison, Meth Cloud works on him more often, but I'm not positive about that one. Okay, we got some more popcorn. It's really easy monsters, just gonna give us experience. That's what we like to see for a while. Being on Dungeon Floor 4 is actually pretty scary because we're going to start seeing centaurs soon, and other things that we're just not terribly equipped to handle. Meth Cloud does it, but you know, all you got to do is fail like one time, and then the centaur rolls well, and you eat like 15 damage every shot, and then you die. So that's just a thing you got to be aware of. This is just a zombie. He only does 8 damage, which is a lot, but we can walk right away from him. Hello, that is an orc wizard. Here we go. We're going to go right up now. Yeah, we got a pack here. Zombies and skeletons don't follow you upstairs, so I'm a little more comfortable about letting them get next to me. It's not that big of a deal. Okay, we're above 4 poison magic now. Let's just train air for a while. Kind of want to memorize Call Imp now, but it's dangerous to get too diversified with your spells. You really want to keep, I mean, I personally want to keep my percentage as low as possible for Meth Cloud. And if I want to keep lowering that, I've got to keep training things that are in the spell list. So Conjuration, Air, Poison. Plus, I want my damage to keep going up because, as you can see, I'm struggling to kill things with the amount of mana that I have. And as a caster, especially, killing things quickly is way better than having defenses. So if something's dead, it cannot hurt you anymore. Got a little null pack here. Let's Meth Cloud these guys. Whoa, we're starving. We'll eat a jelly and we'll Meth Cloud. That's not good. Let's hope. We're poisoned. This is very bad. We're gonna quaff might and we're gonna kill this thing. Maybe we're not. We're gonna die. Probably. We're gonna die. This is a panic quaff situation. Probably gonna die here. Should have netted. Should have taken that a little more slowly. But yeah, our best option here. Let's just. Yeah, our best option here is to panic quaff. It's the only thing that can save us. Oh, that'll save us. There we go. That fixes the problem. Sort of. We still got a confused. We've got a confused null next to us and a not confused imp. The ambrosia will keep us healing for a little while. We would rather not be confused though. Let's keep quaffing. Pretty low chance that the null will walk into us, but if he does, we can die. Potion of agility, that's nice. Our EV is a little higher. Heal wounds. That's okay. That's good, and we're not confused anymore. So we're gonna get out of here. Yeah. See, that is a perfect example. Actually, we're gonna finish this off. That is a perfect example of why you play slow if you don't want to die. I mean, that could have easily been a splat. I mean, it's not good if you are relying on unidentified, quaff IDs. If you're trying to live. Speaking of which, we're gonna identify something else. We got a potion of lignification. Nice survival tool early game. Let's see. See that hallway when I was running away from all that crap. Calling an imp would have been great there. Of course, we got surprised a little bit by the ant. I mean, the ant was here. That you can't really expect that, but especially from a fully explored room here. Just kind of spawned in there, I guess. Ooh, skeleton. These guys are more dangerous than you would think. They can do 7 damage and they move fast. We're just gonna walk away and we're gonna fight him on the staircase, because if he's a problem for us, I mean, now, yeah, we've taken a good amount of damage. We could just kill him. Let's go up. Take the safest option, heal up, come back down. See? We're gonna mef this guy. There we go, double zaps, double zaps. Whoa, hello. We don't want to fight an orc priest until we're fully healed. Because he can do... what is it? He can do 6 damage plus the flail, but his smiting does, I think, 21 maximum. Something very, very high damage for this point in the game. I think we can kill him with double zaps, though. Would have been nice to Mephitic Cloud him, but, we found no jewelry, and we can wear up to 8 rings. Finding a ring of poison resistance right now would be great, considering what we're doing with Meth Cloud. Not too far away from Airstrike. If we could memorize it right now, that'd be great. But I think we're just going to keep training air magic for now. Oh hey, nice little group of gnolls and orc wizard. Pile of experience on this floor. And other than the unfortunate ant incident we're not going to talk about, this has been pretty straightforward. As you can see, Shock is surprisingly useful. It's a level 1 spell, but you can pretty much keep using it all the way up until Lair even. And if you get those double zaps especially, it will do work for you. We got some more altars here. We found 5 of them now, but unfortunately none of them are really gods we want to take. I mean, they're options. We could have taken Moklab back when we found him. I mean, we could have taken... Technically we could take So, but he sucks early game, in my opinion. I don't really like Eli either. Red is actually a pretty good choice, but not really for what we're doing. I mean, yeah, we could kind of do the Meth Cloud combo with Airstrike. Actually, as far as optimum decisions go, I think taking Red right now would be the move, but maybe not. Yeah, because you can airstrike behind them, cool thing about airstrike is it's smite targeted. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if things are in front of you. Yeah, that is an option. Let me think about this for a second. Well, yeah, I think we're going to go with red because we don't really have any late game spells, but we do have. Okay, on the other hand, later in the game, it will be unfortunate if I want to keep going into air magic, because basically any other spell in the air school, especially Tornado, if we end up getting that, is not going to play nicely with your Red's followers, because what he does is, if you don't know, he gives you undead, like this guy. Profane Servitor, but also not so good things. Things that are lesser level than that, whites, vampires, vampire knights, but, still useful. End up with a giant army of undead if you don't lose too many of them. But I can't really use any of the late game air magic, and not hit my own dudes. On the other hand, he doesn't get mad at you if you hit your own guys, so I mean, I do believe they go hostile, unfortunately. Not even sure if I can static discharge next to these guys. Yeah, I think this is... We're not really having a rough time right now, so if I was having a rough time, I would probably go ahead and pick him, but I'm not. So what we're gonna do instead is we're gonna jog on. And we're gonna fight these guys. And we're gonna walk away. We're gonna walk away because other than melee, we have nothing that can kill that. We really have nothing that can kill the Sky Beast, so we need to prioritize getting Airstrike online. So we're going to train spellcasting. And we got it. Yeah, okay. So we have 12 magic points, and that means that at a cost of 4, we can cast Airstrike 3 times in a row. Which is pretty good. I'm going to change our little letters around a little bit for our spells. I imagine I'll be using Airstrike the most. And there we go, he just kind of dies. Took a couple hits, but... Best not to rely on it too much. Let's eat some fruit. As you can see, I think that orc did something like 15 damage to me with a single smite, so it's not to be messed with. Alright, Sky Beasts, I don't know why I thought... Oh yeah, they do fly. Okay, so we're gonna airstrike them. And you get the different flavor text here. Air twists around and violently strikes the Sky Beast, which indicates he takes more damage because he's flying. If I do it to the null, I think I get a different message. Oh, no, it's the same message. I don't know why I thought... yeah, no, it is different. See, it's violently strikes, and it just says it strikes the null, because the null is not flying. And I want to say that after this last null, well, no, this should be the whole room. Alright, we have 2 mutation potions, so let's, I don't think this is optimum, but let's eat some chunks, some mutated chunks, and see what we get. Clumsy, that's not good. That we don't care about that. Wow, really? Huh. Okay. So we got, what is this, poisonous spike? Or tentacle spike, too. I'm not actually sure. Let's ask Beam. Huh, maybe that's new. I know that the spike was a... It must not be in LearnDB. Well, I know that Tentacle Spike has existed for a while, but I thought that the level 2 version gave you a poisonous. Oh well. Doesn't really matter. I'm not going to be meleeing with this guy unless I'm in trouble. It's actually kind of unfortunate, because the idea of meleeing with an Octopode sounds nice. You know, you get the constrict, you get the free Ox attack, and it's kind of a cool visual, like a big octopus man. But just like, you know, going into combat. But unfortunately, the reality of it is that you're just so fragile, and you have no hit points, or you have average hit points, but you have no armor class, and so you take a ton of damage, which is probably about to happen with this guy. Here is the centaur that I've been worried about. We can sort of just walk away from him, but honestly, it's only a matter of time until he causes a problem for us, so I think I'm going to go ahead and take him out. I think this works. We're going to try to meth him from around the corner. Hey, there we go. Let's do a double zap. And then let's airstrike. Yeah, there we go. Tactics. And he had a short bow. Now, if we were going to train a weapon, you really can't do any better than bows. They are great. Excellent, really. Probably the best. I mean, I don't think anybody would even argue this, that bows are not the best in the game as far as weapons go, but we're probably not going to train a weapon for a very long time, going against the conventional wisdom that you should always kind of hybridize a little bit. We have our first shop of the game. I'm going to buy a teleport scroll, not just because we want it, but because that's free identify. I didn't even notice, and I should have been watching for this, but I have acquired a couple of wands, making those scrolls of recharging kind of attractive. I want that scroll of amnesia identified. Scroll of enchant weapon is kind of whatever. I mean, let's identify a few things. We'll buy some more identify scrolls. It's never a bad thing to identify stuff in your inventory, if you can afford it. Now, normally I would be splitting my identifies sort of between potions and wands, and not really worrying too much about scrolls, but these wands, they're not the best. Like if they were something, even a flame wand, but I mean especially Ice Blast or a hexing wand like Paralysis or Confuse, you know, any kind of wand like that. If it was anything other than these two, I would be training some evocations right now, because evocations is great. Unfortunately, polymorph sucks. I mean, there are situations where it's okay, but you know, it's just equally possible for it to turn a monster that was dangerous into a monster that will murder you. And so it can really make a bad situation worse. I do not like it. I'll keep one in my inventory, but I'll probably never use it. Likewise with random effects, unless you're standing on a staircase and about like 10 tiles away from whatever you're fighting, you just don't want to screw around with that, because it might haste them. You know, it might invis them. It might make the situation way worse than it was if you had just sort of walked away. Do we want to go back to Dungeon Floor 3 and kill our friends Grinder and Sigmund? Grinder has a 50% chance to paralyze us still. And 39 hit points, which is... that's a lot, actually. I mean, that's... I mean, it would... you know what would be really nice? It would be nice if, based on your current spell power, it actually told you, instead of this sort of obfuscated, like, here's my pips of power and range and hunger and blah, blah, blah. Instead of this crap, instead there was just, I mean, maybe in addition to this stuff, there was damage. And it just told you how much damage it currently does at your spell power. Wouldn't that be nice? I don't really agree with the obfuscation here, or think that it's a good thing. I mean, because the fact is, people who really care a lot about it are just going to go straight to Beam or LearnDB or, I guess, the wiki, which is not great, but still, they're going to go to some source and they're gonna hash it out. Like, I could do the math based on my power right now. I just don't feel like it, but it would be nice to see, like, exactly how much damage I can do with an airstrike or with shock or whatever. Let's just keep going down for now. God, airstrike is so good. Another book. Book of Misfortune. Seems to really want to give me some hexes today. But this is one of those books I kind of like to ignore. I mean, I guess, again, Confuse is nice, but for the most part, these are not spells you would dip for at all, really. Not at this stage in the game, not in my opinion. It is a shame that we've gotten this far, and we have not found the altar we want. In general, it's good to not be too attached to a particular plan. I mean, you may want to play a Minotaur of Oka or whatever, but if you really want to maximize your win rate, you got to learn to roll with the punches, which is why I very much considered going for red, but I did not. But it was purely like a tactical decision, not just, oh, well, I feel like playing Sifmuda today. We got a staff here. It's a Staff of Cold. That was cursed, and that's fine. We're going to keep that on us. Because, one, as you can see, it gives me resist cold, which is nice. In fact, we're just going to carry this for a while. And we're gonna actually have it equipped. Not because we have any cold spells, we don't. But because, why not? It's a stat stick, you know, it gives us resist. If we run into a Rhyme Drake or something. Or even like an orc with a freezing weapon. You never know. It's gonna be nice to have. Not too far until the temple. I mean, things could be worse. Unless the altar we want is an overflow altar on like Dungeon Floor 9 or some stuff. I mean, I guess this isn't really that far out of the ordinary. And while this game can be cruel, it's kind too, because with a book start, you know, you have everything you need. If you can't survive with a book start, at least until the temple and Lair, well, maybe not Lair, but at least until the temple, you're probably doing something wrong. Let's wear this ring. Dexterity. Not terribly useful. But it's nice to have our first ring. We got some whites here. We really don't want to let these guys hit us. Getting drained, not pleasant. And every hit they do has a chance to drain you. Sort of a twisty hallway here. killing them off one at a time and then resting on a different floor. Because we only have so much magic to go around. Can really only cast 3 airstrikes in a row. And that's only enough to kill pretty much just one white, so that's the way it goes. Alright, I'm gonna amnesia off this swiftness. I do not like swiftness as a spell. I just don't, unless you're like right next to the staircase. Actually, I'm not gonna amnesia it off because it is a 3% fail rate. There are situations where that can save you, but summons are just so much better. I should have memorized Call Amp by now. I should have memorized Blink by now, but we really just don't have that many spells to go around. I think once I get Air Magic to 10, I'm just going to go back to spellcasting. Generally, I will make the mistake of overtraining. I mean, it's honestly, it's hard to overtrain. It's hard to overtrain a spell school because it's always giving you more damage. You know, it's giving you more spell power, which is always good. Unless you're overtraining summoning, it's just kind of hard to have too much. But with that said, it's often nice to have something else. You know, right now, spellcasting would probably do more for me than more air. But I'm going to take it to 10 because I like nice round numbers. I got a fairly empty D6. I'll walk backwards a bit, get some mana back, and he dies. Yeah, my main problem is I tend to play too fast. You know, hey, look at this. There was an amulet on D3 that I missed. Oh, right. No, he was next to Sigmund, so not that bad. We're going to identify him. And the reason for that, you always want to identify your amulets because there's this really, really, really bad amulet in the game, and it's called the Amulet of Harm. And it's just not something you want to wear. This is Rage. This cannot screw us, so we are going to wear it. It is actually a really nice amulet to have. Not so much for us, but you know, it's kind of like worshipping Trog. You get the Berserk Rage, gives you might and haste, and it lasts for a pretty nice amount of time as long as you're swinging the whole time. But you can use it to get away too, if you're within like a couple squares of the staircase. Yeah, but Amulet of Harm, that's the one you want to avoid, and that's why you have to identify your amulets. Because if you take it off, it drains you. And if you wear it, you take extra damage. You also do extra damage, but I don't think it's a good trade-off. I think for almost any character, it's just suboptimal. And here we are on D7. There's an ossuary on this level. Whenever there is a timed portal, I like to use a magic mapping scroll. Unfortunately, we haven't identified that. I just tried to identify and did not find that scroll. I have blinking though, which is nice. Let's blind ID some things. Random uselessness, recharging, immolation. That's unfortunate. We're just going to have to find it the old-fashioned way. Should be pretty close. I think the first sound still gives you an indication of where it is. You hear the hiss of flowing sand because it didn't say far away or whatever. No, very distant. Okay. So we are quite far from it, probably. Let's just head northeast and see what our next indicator is. If these whites don't give us too hard of a time. Distant. Okay, so northeast is closer. So we're just sort of playing this hot and cold game. We're not doing a very good job, actually, of getting close to this. We're not really making good time here. This is one of the reasons I dislike timed portals. Hello. Oh no. Oh no. We're gonna teleport. We don't like this. We do not want to fight these two guys at the same time. We are gonna try to come closer to the centaur. Hopefully I was hoping he would walk by me or walk to me, but he did not. But that's fine. We teleported. We'll rest up. It says it's a quick hiss now, which means we're coming up on... Unfortunately, we're coming up on the timer. I may just let this time out, but it says it's nearby. Maybe not. It's probably right behind that wall, which means we're going to go down here. Or hopefully this bear doesn't wake up. Oh, it's right here. Spakel, he's got a whip of flaming. We may be able to kill him in 3 airstrikes. And we were not. How many hit points does he have? 39. Should we risk it? Should we risk the random effects? Yeah, let's do it. Whoa, he has a wand. Wow. Hey, no. No, 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 no. That is disintegration. And we don't like that. We didn't take much damage, but could have been much worse. Okay, we'll go up. Unfortunately, slaves are not undead. They do chase us upstairs, and so we're going to play it safe. Probably causing us to... whoa, hey, this is dangerous. Yeah, probably causing us to lose the portal, but I'd rather lose the portal than be dead. And that's sort of the whole point of this game. Yeah, the walls and floor vibrate strangely for a moment. That indicates that, unfortunately, we've lost our ossuary, which means we probably missed out on a nice pile of potions and scrolls. We're going to shout here. Now, I shouted so that the centaur would see me, but if I just walk right here, our little friend has to walk to me. And now he's next to me, and we can just sort of discharge him to death. And we don't need to worry about him doing a ton of damage to us because centaurs don't use their bows if they're in melee range. And that's the scary thing about centaurs, is the bows. We did switch back to spellcasting, by the way. We'll go ahead and get Blink. We'll get Blink first. Normally, I would opt for the summon spell, but the thing about imps is that they're a little less reliable for making summons and walking through them to escape. And the reason for that is that they like to blink. So instead, I'd like to do the blinking, if I have to. Oh, right, okay. I forgot. We found, in my rush to get to in my rush to get to that portal, I forgot I found the temple. And we got Mikkel here. Let's walk back here and wait a few turns. Maybe he'll be gone. He's not gone. And he's too far away for this meth cloud. Okay, we gotta think about this carefully. He's got Disintegrate. That can do a lot of damage to us. So we're gonna walk away. He'll probably chase us. Yes, he's chasing us. We're gonna go to the staircase. Whoa, hey. And we're gonna meth cloud him from here, and if I take a lot of damage from the wand, I can always go right back up. Yeah, see, now he's confused, which is very good for us. We're gonna walk right up and we're gonna take him out. And he's dead. And we got the wand. This is not my favorite wand. It's subject to spell resistance, or magic resistance, whatever you want to call it. It does pretty good damage, though. With only a little bit of evocations training, you can one-shot something nasty like a centaur. I could start training evocations a little bit right now. I am not going to, probably until I get a chance to identify that book. Because as far as straight damage goes, we have spells for that. We have airstrike for that. Okay, let's see. We got Gozag. He's a decent option. Gozag is a very, very, very good god. We got these guys. They are not good for us, except for, well, I guess if I really wanted to, I could go Ashen, but no thanks. Rue is an excellent god, but not really for what we're doing. Again, Kiku's great, but not for what we're doing. Vehumet is an option. Oh, are you kidding me? Are you kidding? Oh, you gotta be kidding me. That's cute. Okay, so the game is trolling us a little bit. There is no Sif Muna altar here. She is apparently at like an overflow altar. I could take Vehumet. That is an option. Generally prefer Sif, because with Sif we'll get to branch out a little bit more. We'll get some summoning spells. We'll get some translocations. We might even see my favorite spell in the game, Malign Gateway. With Vehumet, we won't see any of that unless we luck into a book. The mana recharge mechanic is a bit different too. Vehumet offers, you get mana back when you kill things, and Sif Muna you can just sort of regenerate. On the other hand, with Vehumet you don't need to train invocations at all, and that's nice. Well, we're already level 9. We're getting to worship a little bit late in the game, so I think... I mean, Vehumet is kind of a weak god. Widely considered to be a bit weak, just because he takes a while to give you any spells that are sort of useful. Probably the most powerful option here, which still lets us be a caster, would either be Rue or Gozag out of these. Well, let's see. I think, let's see, our spells, we still haven't found any late game spells that'll really do it for us. And honestly, the best spell we have was from our starter book, like either Lightning Bolt or Airstrike. So we don't really have a great end game plan yet. Behemoth would guarantee us that. I think we're going to stick with Sif. Again, this is not the most tactical of choices. This is, if I was trying to be optimal here, totally optimal, I would probably take Gozak here. Or I might have taken, I probably, actually, if I wanted to be 100% optimal, I probably would have taken Red way back earlier in the dungeon. But this is kind of intended to be a sort of a spellcasting showcase. And so we're going to go for Sif Muna. And because she is not here, this means he's going to be in an overflow altar. And so that altar is going to be anywhere from D2 to D9. Probably right here on this floor, honestly. I'm probably stressing about this too much. But it could be on D3, which I did not fully explore. Or it's even possible that in one of these little corners here I may have missed something, and one of these other floors. We're going to try D7, though. We're going to take a little look around. Take a little look around, and we're just going to see. I doubt this is going to be a problem. Again, we're not having too many problems yet. Strike this bear to death. We can memorize some more things. What I ought to do is I ought to amnesia shock away and memorize Lightning Bolt. Lightning Bolt is, it's a bolt spell. It misses a lot, but it does a lot of damage, so kind of a trade-off. Let's get some conjurations. Yeah, I want to say the Lightning Bolt does more damage than any bolt spell in the game when it does hit. Makes a ton of noise. But that's the trade-off. Here is our friend Mr. Centaur. We're going to walk right next to him. Wow, he is deadly even in melee. I almost forgot. Let's Lignify. Now we have armor class. Now I'm a tree. I can't get away, but I don't have to. I can just airstrike him to death, probably. Or, well, yeah, I can also do that. What do you call it? I static discharged him. But yeah, this tree is great. Tree form is awesome. It gives you 24 AC. I think it varies, actually, based on, you know, it'll be affected by things like if you have AC rings on. But it gives you the AC. I think it gives you some global damage reduction, or general damage reduction, whatever GDR stands for. Most importantly, it gives you some more hit points, so it's kind of like being berserked in that respect. And it also makes you really good at doing unarmed damage, so if you really need to kill something super early in the game, it doesn't really matter if you have unarmed trained or not. You can whack it with tree trunks and or tree limbs, and you'll probably do good work and take it out. Of course, mobility is the payoff for that, or the trade-off for that. See that these hornets, or these killer bees rather, might be kind of scary for a different character, but airstrike just takes them right out. The only thing better at killing killer bees than airstrike is probably toxic radiance, OTR. Hey, that's a wand of clouds. as soon as we have... Well, no, we're going to go ahead and start training evocations, because Wand of Clouds is worth it. And we're going to identify that, because we do not want to waste charges. Wand of Clouds is amazing. Really, really, really good. You don't really want to rely on it over much, because, well, it's not guaranteed to give you a useful cloud. You know, you can get fire on things that are immune to fire and so on and so forth, but in general, it will take care of problems for you. It's kind of a panic button. If you didn't see that, we have a Bailey on this floor. Sort of a very dangerous portal vault, at least for this character, depending on what we get. We're lightning bolting. Yes, we are. Didn't quite do what we wanted, though. Okay, he's dead. We got distant. I'm not a huge fan of the sort of hint system, the hot and cold portal vault system here, because it'll say distant. You got very distant, you have distant, you have nearby, and I think you also have one that's just says it's there. And the order is like closest is nearby, then there was the one where it just says you hear creaking of a distant, or rather you hear the faint creaking of a portcullis. And then there's distant, and there's very distant. But in my experience, I mean, I haven't looked up the code or what the actual math on it is, but in my experience, distant could be very close to you, or it could be very far away from you, and it's just very hard to tell, and it has to do with because there's, I imagine it's because it could be behind a wall or whatever, but it's, I mean, I found I've had just as much luck sort of following a wall and just sort of exploring randomly than paying close attention to the messages here. This is, I'm going the wrong way though, for sure. It's up here somewhere. Either up here or behind the wall. Whoa, hey, two-headed ogre. See, now we're having mana management problems. Steady creaking. We're gonna blow a cloud cone here. And the reason for that is Mr. Two-Headed Ogre can do just a giant pile of damage, and it's just not... I mean, honestly, I should have just meth clouded him, but I didn't want to take the chance of it not working and then having a whole situation. Here we go. We're gonna go in. Okay, these guys, if I remember correctly, don't just have... I think they have ranged attacks, not just the pikes, but we're gonna see. I'm just gonna sort of cloud these guys, and they should walk into the water. Yeah, Centaur drowns, Orc drowns. This is pretty good. This is probably the best one we could have asked for, because I can just I can just slam these guys. With my spells, and they don't have any way to get to me. The AI is just too dumb. Whoa, hey, he's got something. Hello. Let's confuse him. We're just gonna try to, like, airstrike these guys one by one, and it works for us. Bailey rewards are interesting because they can be, oh right, I'm an octopus, I can swim. Bailey rewards are interesting. Sometimes they're just total garbage, and sometimes they're excellent. Sometimes you get like a manual of fighting, which is good on any character. Any character. And sometimes you'll get like a crystal plate armor, which is great on some characters, would be useless for us. Sometimes you'll get something that's useless for everybody. I think the worst thing that we'll find in this is an Orc Knight, which, I mean, considering the terrain in here, we can just wreck that. We are in a very good spot as an Octopode. Yeah. First half done. Whoa, hello, wow. So that's a triple sword of Holy Wrath. I really don't see us using that, but maybe. I mean, I'll probably equip it for a little while at least. Not because I intend to swing with it, but because of the riposte mechanic, I think that's how you pronounce that, I could sometimes get an attack just because something missed me. Yeah, we don't want to eat too many of these javelins, we really don't. Fortunately, our conjuration is getting decent. 7 conjuration, 10 air, so we're going to have lightning bolt action. Really the only reason I've been focusing on airstrike is it's just more reliable. I mean, look at that. And the damage range, in addition to just the overall accuracy of the spell, is just it's not great. I mean, look at this. The bolt hits the centaur appears unharmed. That's not ideal. Whoa, hey, see how much damage you can take? That was just 2 spells. But that's the 1 AC life. We're gonna get this javelin of returning. We're gonna drop these tomahawks. Well, no, we're not. We have a ton of inventory space. Thankfully, these guys just sort of suicide as soon as you confuse them near some water. I'm going to turn that macro off for auto-exploring, because I'm going to want to make sure I didn't miss anything in here. Auto-explore really can't do anything bad to us. Well, what am I doing? I'm just walking away. Okay, that's not good. Wow. Got ahead of myself there. Let's, he can really do bad things to us here. Yeah, I forgot how fast these guys were for a second. I'm just gonna take the ultimate safe play and take a scroll blinking. Just close this up. Oh, that was haste, whoops. Well, whatever, we're fine. Okay, we're fine, we're held up. And we identified haste, so there's that. Yeah, we're safe from orcs here. We're not necessarily safe from javelin-wielding centaurs that have gotten out of their confinement. Whoa, hey. I am just taking too many risks left and right. 20 damage plus its Bardage. Not so great. See, like, I just blew 2 scrolls of blinking because I'm playing too fast. It's not ideal. Like, scrolls of blinking should be considered your get out of jail free cards, because there are not very many situations where a scroll of blinking, or especially multiple scrolls of blinking, will not get you out of a problem. So if you're using them left and right like this, it's not good. It's not good. It's not ideal anyway. And see, this guy has a bar that she can actually do really good damage. So what we do is we just go across here, and he can't follow us because he's a big dumb orc and he does not swim. That's the proper way to handle that. We're gonna walk up. We're gonna walk up to him. The centaur. See, that's way better. See, life is a lot better. Life is a lot better when you play smart and slow. You can do risky things in the interest of playing faster, and it'll work out for you sometimes. But eventually, if you play chicken with the RNG will punish you and you will die. Okay, let's drop our books. Nothing else we really particularly need from this. We could pick up Conjure Flame. It's not a bad thing to have. There are a few other things we might want here. I mean, personally, I'd like to have Call Imp still, but you know, why not? We'll get Call Imp. So we found a longbow of freezing. And if we wanted to, I mean, that's legitimately the best weapon in the game, if you ask me, is a longbow. And this one has an ego, which is great. But we're just too invested in casting. Hey, okay, this guy. I want to say that Gastronoc's Airstrike can do 50 damage. Yeah, Airstrike 0 to 50. So let's we have 56 hit points. Excuse me. Let's just not. Got the hiccups here. Let's not play with Gastronoc. Not today. I think we found Lair over there. We found Lair probably way over here. That sort of plant-laden entry vault. Eating a lot of food. Here we go. Well, this is a funny entry vault. I can just airstrike right past these things. Didn't really do me much good, though, unfortunately. He does a lot of damage. We don't want to be next to him. What we'd really like to get is a nice double zap on him. These gnolls really know how to ruin your day. Alright. We'll go downstairs. I'm not going into Lair until I worship Sif Moon. I'll probably cut this video short as soon as we enter Lair, but we're gonna find our Sif Muna first. Yeah, we really shouldn't even be swinging on people with the sword, because the starting delay is 1.9 with no training, and of course we have no training. 1.9 is a huge amount of time. They'll get 2 attacks on us, pretty much guaranteed. Oh, whoops, I have walked into a... Yeah, that's not good. Let's... Whatever, I'm just gonna he's confused. Fine. We're not going to chase him down. We're going to double zap. Zap. Yeah, I was just going to cloud him. Yeah, I really want to find that altar. We're way behind on the altar. Whoa, hey. We have miscast. We're gonna drink a curing, and we're gonna just get confused again. Let's just try to make it out of the clouds. Yeah, miscast can do that, unfortunately. Which is odd, because only 5% fail rate, but these things happen. You know, but if I really wanted to, I could go into bows. I mean, Octopodes they have good apps. You know, they have 0 in basically everything, which is actually good. They're no better at spell casting than they are, or they're no better at spell schools than they are at using weapons. It's just that they're bad in melee. I mean, if I had to guess, I would think that switching to bows right now, despite the amount of casting training that I have, like, bows are just that good, it would be the best choice. Looks like Gastronaut woke up. Some free experience here. Hey, we have our first artifact. It's holy, so it can't be cursed. And it sucks. That's bad for us. I'm kind of hoping for intelligence. That would have been nice. Intelligence on a weapon is often just as good, if not better, than some kind of spell power enhancer. You know, let's go ahead and go back to dungeon floor, those floors that we have some missing spots on. Oh, hey, a ring. Ring of protection. That would have been nice to have. I think we're gonna be just fine killing Grinder at this point. And Natasha? Okay. Killing Natasha several times, actually, because she is a felon. Of course, Sigmund woke up, I'm sure, with all those lightning blasts. That's not a surprise. We are auto-exploring a bit now on these early floors. If we had... I'm going to go ahead and make sure these are all finished out. We'll go ahead and stay on the staircase while we fight him. Whoa, hey. Yeah. Well, that worked out. that's enough evocations for now. Probably forever. But I think it's about time to start training a little bit of defenses. It's not. I mean, if you really want to drink whiskey and play risky, defenses you could do the whole game without training them. You could, but I don't recommend it. I mean, I've gone too long without training them. But if you're playing with like great perfection, and the RNG is not too unkind to you, defenses are really just like a distraction from the extra damage you're getting from spell power boost. I mean, if you're a melee character, it's a different story. But I mean, I'm crazy, so I tend to play a little bit riskier. So I think the game, I think, unless I missed something in the temple, yeah, unless, okay, here we go. So the temple's fully explored, and everything up to this point is fully explored. Oh man, I don't want to fight Gastronach. He's not giving me a lot of choice here. Yeah, I think the game decided to troll me, and has given me a D9 Sifmuna. Oh crap. I did not see that moccasin there. We are going to teleport. Oh, good lord. Wow, okay. It's a very trolly D8 here. You notice we're auto-exploring a bit now. Probably not the best move with 63 hit points, but I'm feeling a little more confident. Gastronach is not resistant to poison, so you can Meph Cloud him. I'm not sure how much luck you're going to have. He's got a lot of hit die, but I mean, confused, 21% chance. In general, I just don't want to be fighting him. He can do 50 damage with an airstrike, and you know, with the amount of AC that we have, we're really not going to be resisting that. Okay, we got rid of that Basilisk, so that's a plus. Okay, yeah, we got trolled. The last possible place it could be is D9. And so what we're going to do is we're going to find it. We're going to find the altar, because we were stubborn. This is pretty much the opposite of what you should do. You should never commit to, I want to play this god, and I'm gonna not take any other thing for an option, because, you know, rolling into worship your god on dungeon floor 9 at level 11, it's not ideal. It's not good. Okay, so we got Joseph here. We're gonna actually try to zap confuse on him, and we're gonna succeed. And we're just gonna try to sort of airstrike him to death. That's not working. Let's take no chances. Let's cloud him. Oh, that's a good one. We can just kind of let him die in that. It's really, it's worth using a cloud charge on a unique. Joseph can be pretty nasty. I mean, you see he has the sling and the sling bullets. Any kind of ranged unique is going to do a lot of damage to you, probably. Here's our altar. Boom. Sifmuna. We're gonna train up like a little bit of invocations, just a little bit. Just enough. And we're going to leave D9, because D9, D10, D11 is when things can get quite nasty. There tend to be some vaults that spawn there, or can spawn there, with things that are very out of depth. You can get storm dragons on D10 if you get the wrong vault. So, in general, if you can avoid it, you don't want to go there. Not until you've finished Lair. So we went into Lair, and we're worshiping Sifmuna, and I think that's going to be it for now. So there's our Octopode that survived a Lair. We have our god. We're a little bit behind on that, but we have him, and we have enough stuff available to us to pretty easily finish Lair unless we do something silly. I mean, we can kill anything the Lair has to throw at us, except with the exception of certain uniques might cause us some problems, like Rupert might cause us problems if he shows up. In general, the character's going pretty well. And there was really only, well, outside of a couple mea culpas and Bailey, there was really only one situation where we could have died, where we were really at risk of dying, and that was the ant that I walked into that kind of spawned behind me. And even that could have been avoided if I had played a little bit more carefully. I think if I had managed my mana a little better. So that's it, and next time we will finish out Lair and see what happens.